Hello, I'd like to welcome back to Ziggurat, where in the meantime a couple of new updates have been released. There should be some new content and some small updates and tweaks. One of which is the duplicate weapons aren't as likely to happen, which I am very happy with. We start off, with the Flame Weaver Bomb. The one that supposedly doesn't work against flying enemies. If I remember. Oh, we'll see how this works. We start out with the Portal Key. And then we get a Scroll of Wisdom. Well, excuse me for that. Apparently Java Auto-Updater, never mind that I do actually have the latest version, insists that I need to download the latest version. Now we don't get to see the new weapon. Oh, futz. Oh, whatever. You got a spell. We got some dudettes to shoot. Apparently one of the things they did is they made it... They gave new score things. Here's a quick thing. I can't see my score in the middle of a match. So I put in all these score things. Anyway. Like, I haven't even seen any unlockables that unlock by getting score. This must be one of those score things. Yeah, but where can I see my score then? Going around the Ziggurat. They said that I would increase the difficulty. I understand why now. Because these score... Score doesn't do anything for me, does it? Because you don't even see your score in level. You only get to see your score when you die or when you know... When stuff goes down, so to speak. Also, barrels need to drop more often. Increase enemy drop rate. Oh, look, they fixed this one. Oh, wow. But I like that drop rate pickup a lot. Yeah, free experience. I don't know, the people that came out of the Ziggurat? I mean, there are clearly people that went through the Ziggurat and came out the Ziggurats. Unless, of course, he means like... But what if they were zombies all along? Oh look, it's new enemies! New enemies that are kinda tough. I kinda like them. So yeah, I still don't... Okay, next level up we're gonna see if it actually tells you that it's an instant and not like a permanent perk. Oh dear god, they unleash poison clouds on death. Interesting. Makes looting them a different thing, doesn't it? Nothing else here, just some experience. No, 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 da 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 da. Welcome to the Ziggurat, Ziggurat, Ziggurat. Going at the speed of a... No, we don't do that. We don't talk about the D around here. The Isle. Oh man, we got shitty amounts of magic power for that weapon. I do notice that there's a lot less magic now that there's score drops. I still think instants should be separate from your perks, because people might not necessarily need them, and then they're always going to go for the perk. You always need to give people 3. You need to give them an instant that basically heals them or not. Then you need to give them 2 just regular perks, because it kind of feels like a stab in the side if you don't need them, or don't want them at all. You're like, oh, I can pick this or I can pick this. Alright, let's see. Nope, it doesn't tell you that this is an instant and this is an actual perk. Well then, let's see if we can get a new item. Maybe we can get the wide staff. I'm interested in seeing that. Yeah, again, I don't... What does score do for me? Like, I understand that, like, people in roguelikes, like, look at how much gold you've collected. And this is your level. That shows how far you got. Oh, look, we get the new weapon. Excellent. Oh, it's a shotgun-like weapon, is it? It's also really inexpensive. This thing is powerful. This puppy's gonna get nerfed really bad, isn't it? Because look at that. It's got accuracy over distance. Okay, that's probably one of those new tough guys they introduced. You see, they introduced it so that there's now tougher enemies that spawn. Like, in most roguelikes, you'll see that. There's like, oh, it's a champion. Better pull out the big guns now. Actually, I'm running out of magic power really fast. Maybe it drains... Yeah, I guess it's just a lot of energy drain per shot. So you can only really use it for a little bit. Like, sure, it's 5 shots, but the shots independently aren't particularly great. Sweet. Oh, they're doing the Rogue Legacy thing. Where they're like, look at this game we made. I think that only really works if you don't change your employees very often. This would never work in a big game company. Oh look, they put the little logo. This would never work in a big game company because big game companies often shift their employees and there's not a central person. You can do that with Hideo Kojima. You could be like, man, we wanted to make this super cool game, but even for Hideo Kojima, I just didn't have the right people to do it. And that's a good story to tell. But if you're like a AAA company and you're like, oh, well, all the people involved with that are fired by now, but we still thought it was an educated... Fuck you. You're literally just prancing the experience of other... Wow, this one's new. I like how trap rooms tend to have a lot of exits. Oh yeah, we were doing a video game. guess it is really ineffective against single weak enemies, strong enemies. Those ladies were weak though, they were easy enough to mow down with this. But now that I know there's secret door wall things that I can shoot open. One thing I hate, it's melee enemies that like get this sort of delay on their attack so that they can hit you even if you move away. That never feels fair. I'm quite dead. I really do notice the decrease in drops. Haven't seen these new Obelisk rooms yet. You. I guess I do see some use in instants, though. This is apparently how my life is going to decrease. At a slow but steady pace. Who are we fighting today? It's Queen Amadana. Amanda. Green staff OP, please blocks. Please nerf blocks. Or whatever people say these days. So hard to tell them apart. Cause it's Queen Abu Daba. Goes around and around. Now I hope we get an orange weapon, so that we can complete our complement. Although I mostly have spray weapons, I wouldn't mind a weapon that does a little bit of direct damage. Thank you very much. Frozen Soul. The Cursed Cathedral. Of course, and we get the old one, which is alright, because this is a really good semi-crowd control weapon. Cause it's Queen Abu Daba. Ow! That shouldn't hit you in the doorway, by the way. That should not go that far. But hey, we're in early access, we can patch it all out later. And it's just a variable as to how large it should be. Might want to lower the amount of jackass spawns, actually. Now that I mentioned it, this thing was actually really good against them. They're very wide targets, for one. And for two, they have all these little dudes that come out. You can also just pepper with it. Get pepper with it. Life gems give you more help, thank you. So that switches randomly. Does that literally mean that you can just wait it out like a nerd? There's like infernals, as the Hexit called it, everywhere. Also, they made these things stick around a bit longer. I think I've already mentioned that, but there you go. Really good, since I noticed that they're gone before you usually get to them. Being conservative with your ammo can sometimes just be as simple as swapping to your weakest weapon when you know you've got it in the bag. Okay, this is definitely a situation for this weapon. Maybe even the firebomb, just for the splash. Knowledge items gives you more experience. Yes, that means more level ups, which means more life in general. Nah, it's probably not one of those. Box room! Boxes are rare, and they're actually kind of shit. Oh, look, I get a weapon that I don't really care too much about. But fine, we'll pick it up, because I get ammo for it. See, this one's actually pretty good. It's an upgraded regular staff. I do have a lot of splash now. I really just like this thing, and this is actually accurate enough for me. Cause it's Queen Abu Daba, and it goes around. And it's evil carrots. I'm already not a fan of carrots, and then they're evil too, really? Stop giving me reasons, thank you very much. I wonder how well it can track what you kill an enemy with. Like, can it, like, tell if you used specifically that one weapon for him, or if it doesn't know when you, like, swap out? That went fantastic, because I actually want to swap to this weapon. There's lots of walls to check. You might want to make it so that secrets only spawn in rooms with just, you know, tiny rooms, because big rooms can get annoying really fast. You're like, well, fudge. Though all things considered, getting some focus fire might not be a horrible idea. Like, the only reason I like this is it's a fast-firing weapon. Oh, this is slow, this is slow, this is it's just too weak to feel fast. You know what? I think I'm going to go for the Staff of Twilight. I just need something to focus my fire with. I need a focused attack. This is fine, but it's just a little bit too ditzy to do it. Ah, oh, thank you. Oh, that's where instants are also pretty cool, is when they recover you. What do we have here? We have wool. Wasn't there another game, that alien game, that also did the whole herding thing? Maybe that was the problem, that game was just better. Because it was aliens, and aliens and sheep go hand in hand somehow. See? I have all the splash I need to live the life of a gentleman. Finish off the rest with this one. You know, there's an achievement for killing dudes with your wand. Doesn't kind of work very well if you have dudes you can very easily gun out with your wand. Kind of ruins the spirit. But hey, sure, one more perk leveling up. That's actually really nice. How many floors are we in anyway? Floor 3. We have a floor to go. Plenty of time to crack up some of that experience. Is that like one secret per floor? That sounds actually quite reasonable. Because you know what you're up for. I have to say that flamethrower has a little too much range to feel fair. Look at that. Normally flamethrowers are like 1.5 body lengths, you know, just to sort of give them the range they need to do something, but not too much that it feels like, oh, fuck you, man. That was not to him, by the way. I meant to the fairness. Look at all this spell juice I have. Can't see how much spell juice I have. That's another thing. They talk about score and about mana, but I can't see my mana or my score in the middle of something. I have this weak bar, and I have a faint idea. Okay, so those two, they probably give about 25 each of those, so they're not actually that great. I might be sure it's lots of mana stuff, but all in all, you can get crystals fast enough that once you have 3 weapons, you can easily just swap and go whatever. So we're going to pick up this puppy because I have fully learned my lesson. Having a good mix of things is a lot better than having nothing at all. Well, obviously, because you have more. Open that door! It's Adam! Adam's... Oh, man. Just so happened this guy would be probably pretty weak against that particular weapon. How did he know? How did he know? What can we pick? We can pick Alchemy Pouch. We can pick Curse. Gonna go with that one. They're not great, but I think they settle the argument. Are we gonna get that new throw weapon? Kind of interested in that. Wish I had actually just had more weapons in general. I have Twilight kills, almost 200. Sweet. The Cursed Cathedral. I think that Cursed and Cursed are interchangeable, but one has a certain punch to it. Let's see how good the Flame Weaver Bomb works. If it doesn't actually hit any flying things, it's probably absolutely fucking useless against... It's actually weaker. It is so much weaker. Like, the power of the original bomb was that it just destroyed things. I do like the score pickup, though. It's a really cute thing. Flame Weaver Bomb, not so great. And because of that disaster, we're going to pick this other room. Because I figured it would be a dead end. Oh my god. These guys are so cheap, I think they should always just drop health. Look at this. They're very difficult to avoid in smaller spaces. they are insanely accurate, and they seem to have a neck that's way more flexible than I'd feel. Really is nice. Look at that. I lost health, and I made a mistake. I made a bigger mistake coming here, but hey. Used to have a whole bunch of Twilight Zone. Ah, great, it's demons. Really needed to see some powered up demons. Lovely. It didn't even tell me the outcome, by the way. I just had to figure that one out on my own. Wait, what? It's at 25%, right? If it meant 25%, why am I down to 75? Oh my god, it's glitched, isn't it? Game developers, it should lower you by 25% of your current, not your maximum, and then set you... Oh my, it lowered it by 25% of my original, which is 100. And then instead of... I had... Oh man, it just undid all my level ups in terms of health. This is the kind of stuff you should figure out during the math. Oh great. Oh great. I would have rather gone with curse or something. Knowing that there's secret rooms and how to find them actually will speed up the amount of things I will get much more. And around and around. I haven't seen any of these Obelisk rooms yet. Oh, shamans, eh? Where'd he go? I'm starting to think curse isn't actually a bad idea. For one specific reason. You get little pickups, you're unlucky, but you get little pickups, so when you get little pickups, getting more out of them is actually better than having more you can carry around with you. Look at that, my level got me 5 HP. Tips, 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 Baratos, bis, tips, 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 tips. Total tip skits. Flame room. Also, they did something with the spike room, they said, to make it faster to traverse. Ah, it's an obelisk room. Ah, that's an obelisk. Oh, I see how this works. Why would you do this? Yep, the homing rockets got me. Jesus fucking Christ, what is this? Orochi Zilla? Never liked Orochi. Oh, ooh, prepare to wreak havoc amongst your weak enemies. That's also pretty cool. Infinite mana until you get hit. I don't see why you would ever want to get that, because considering that 90% of the attacks are homing, 90% of the attacks are melee attacks that will hit you, even if you move away, if you don't sprint, that's not gonna help right now. This isn't Doom, where you can do fancy dances. This is Duke Nukem, where there is not hit scan, you're still gonna get hit. I hope that pool eventually starts removing objects. Wow, that was a lot less unlockables than I hoped for. Did I at least get a new character? Nope. Jesus, I hoped I would get a new character, but apparently progress is slow. Even the wand. Ah, 5 short of the wand. Well, that'll be for next time. Until then, let's hope these 3 new cards we got are worth the time. Maybe score determines how many new things you unlock. Like, it's like, oh, you get 100,000 points, you unlock at least one. 500,000, 2 cards for you, sir. The 1,000,000 points, that's 4 smackers to you, my dear friend. Oh, they also got the bestiary now, which is a work in progress. This is nice because it tells me... Oh. Why does it use page up and page down? Yeah. That does not work. The back doesn't even work. You see what we've come to? I'll see you guys later.